It's May 2021 and change is in the air. I've had the Swansea house 10 years now. I took the boys there for the first time after the playoff final, which we won, and now back in the semi-finals. So I went to the semi-final with Griff and we won. It was fantastic despite his grumbling. But then the boys went up to Wembley for the big final against Brentford and we lost miserably, very, very sad indeed. And in a way, that sums up now. I've had 10 glorious years in Swansea. It's time to move on. I sold the boat a year ago, pretty much because it wasn't being used and the boys weren't coming up. And it's the same sort of decision now. I love being in Swansea, but there's a new factor, which is I want to be in new places. To sum it up, I want to be in Biarritz now rather than Swansea. Mel and I have got a chance to do some travelling and we need to grab hold of it. Bye bye Swansea. So, what about Cheltenham? Well, looking beautiful, had my second vaccination and we've had some very important visitors. We've had Lizzie and Charlie, we've had Jasmine and Daniel, and that's what we want. We want the house to be full of bright young people having a fun time, relaxing and enjoying themselves. Talking about relaxing, Mel has tackled the ground elder with ferocious energy, helped enormously by Bronwyn. You can see her really making an effort here, and it's had quite an effect on Mel. The other exciting thing there is, as we do the garden up, is that we've appointed Steve, yes Steve, good old Steve, to do number 16, and the tin roof and the scaffolding will all be going up next month, and that's given me even more incentive to go down to the dump. I love going to the dump. What's happening in London? Well, Hackney Town has been rechristened Quackney Town because Ellie and Matt have both moved in separately into Hackney within a few minutes of each other. So that's just a kind of a sign of in both our families that the kids are kind of moving on. Mel and I did some walks down the Thames. We love walking down the Thames. Looking not very busy though, you know, you kind of wonder whether London town will ever really bounce back, whether the offices will be full again. And we called in to see Brian and Maureen, inspect their lovely garden, which is always great. So that's London town for you. And then finally, Cirencester and Lucy and Susie have done the most fantastic job at looking after Mum, keeping her in Abbey grounds, keeping her with her friends, enabling us to walk around the park to see what's going on, look at all the beautiful plants and trees and animals and what have you. And of course we've got Margaret and Seamus just round the corner, so popped over to see them. We went for a walk on the Infant Thames, yes, 100 miles down to London town on the Infant Thames, and a lovely pub lunch afterwards, so that was just fantastic. So I hope you can see that for Mel and I now, we're starting to focus on Cheltenham as our home, welcoming friends and family, but really now starting to be responsible for ourselves rather than others. Having a les bon temps is what we have to do now, and we intend to do it, so that's great. So I'm going to leave you with the view from my bedroom window at Swansea, which I'll miss enormously, but you know the new motto? Biarritz, not Swansea. Let's do it. Bye bye, bye bye.
Swansea Bay in the morning. What a beautiful sight. I'm going to miss it enormously, especially this view.